Welcome to my bold and beautiful Today's Show channel. I hope today fantastic for everyone. Please hit the subscribes button and give this video thumbs up. Ridge puzzled by Steffy's new attitude towards Hope. The bold and the beautiful reveal that Steffy Forrester will completely baffle Ridge Forrester when she decides to bury the hatchet with Hope Logan. Will Steffy go as far as to reboot Hope for the future and rehire Hope after Liam Spencer's talk with John Finnegan? Steffy Forrester wanted Hope Logan gone. When the Forresters got control of Forrester Creations back, the first thing Steffy did was boot Hope. However, now Steffy has made up with Hope because of their daughters. Steffy isn't at liberty to tell anyone, but that hasn't stopped her from telling Hope and Taylor Hayes that Liam is dying. Steffy has promised Hope that they will get through this as a family. Steffy realized that having the clothing line back will help to stay occupied through this difficult time. Hope also is determined to be there for Liam, something that Steffy cannot do all by herself. However, Ridge doesn't understand this change of her one bit. Hope Logan apologizes to Ridge Forrester. Hope has been told several times that she needs to apologize to Ridge after she and Carter Walton. Spoilers suggest that Hope will apologize to Ridge and she may even talk to Carter at this time. Will Hope tell Carter what is going on and ask him to wait for her? Has Carter already slept with Daphne Rose before Hope can explain? Ridge felt as though Hope was using Carter all of this time. Now Hope and Steffy are back on speaking terms and he is stunned. Steffy and Hope have come together as family, leaving Ridge completely confused. How long will this newfound truce last between Hope and Steffy? Will it continue after Liam is gone? Liam Spencer wants his girls to be close. Liam wants his girls to be able to grow up together even if he isn't around. Liam has made Finn agree to help broker a truce between Steffy and Hope. Steffy is willing to try this fight now. However, fans know that Steffy can turn on a dime if she believes Hope says something out of the way to Finn. Of course, Hope isn't currently concerned with him. Will Steffy rehire Hope and agree to work together at Forrester? Can Steffy and Hope stick together for their kids through this difficult time? How long will this surprising truce last before one of them blows it up again? What will happen to Liam in the end? Will he survive, or will reuniting Hope and Steffy be Liam's last great act? Liam's tragic brain tumor prognosis forces final life decisions. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal Dr. Grace Buckingham delivers crushing news about Liam Spencer's brain tumor progression, forcing him to confront mortality and share final wishes with Hope and Steffy. Liam's devastating brain tumor update leaves Hope and Steffy uniting in grief. Crushing news ahead for Liam. In a heartbreaking development that's about to rock everyone's world, Liam Spencer will receive devastating news about his brain tumor during the week of May 19th to 23rd. The once indecisive Spencer heir has been putting on a brave face since his initial diagnosis, but even he isn't prepared for the bombshell Dr. Grace Buckingham is about to drop. The brutal reality hits home. Although Liam has theoretically accepted his grim prognosis, the harsh reality hasn't fully registered yet. How could it? Despite worsening symptoms that signal his body's betrayal, wrapping your head around your own mortality is something no one should have to face, especially not a young father with so much left to live for. Inside those hospital walls, Liam will cling to that last shred of irrational hope we all would have. Maybe, just maybe, the scans will show his tumor growing slowly. Perhaps there's been a mistake. A miracle even. But soap fans, brace yourselves. Dr. Grace is about to deliver the kind of news that shatters worlds. The scans will reportedly show Liam's tumor is growing much faster than anyone anticipated, a crushing reality that will force him to confront just how little time he has left. Time is running out. The neuro team won't sugarcoat things once these new scans reveal Liam's rapidly deteriorating condition. It'll fall to Dr. Buckingham to have that impossible conversation, one where Liam may push for the answer to the question we all dread. How long? Of course, medicine isn't an exact science. Every patient is different. But one thing is crystal clear. Liam will leave this appointment with the sobering knowledge that he needs to prepare, and fast. Hope and Steffy united in grief. If there's one silver lining to this heart-wrenching storyline, it's the possibility of Hope Logan and Steffy Forrester putting aside their differences to support the man they've both loved. Liam has been reluctant to burden others, but both women have already assured him he's anything but a burden. Hope's unwavering support has been a comfort, and Steffy reportedly feels just as determined to be there for her children's father during his darkest hours. It's been challenging for Liam to open up about his situation. After all, who's ever truly prepared to discuss their own mortality? But with both Hope and Steffy rallying around him, we might finally see Liam drop his guard and express what's really on his heart. Final wishes and painful goodbyes. As the reality of his condition sinks in, expect Liam to finally face the necessity of making his final wishes known. This could lead to some of the most gut-wrenching scenes we've seen on The Bold and the Beautiful in years. Will he have special messages for his daughters? Requests for their future? Confessions and regrets he needs to voice before it's too late? The show is clearly setting up for an emotional punch straight to the viewer's heart. And with actors of Scott Clifton, Annika Noel, and Jacqueline McInnes Wood's caliber handling these scenes, you might want to keep those tissues handy. As Liam's storyline grows increasingly tragic in the coming weeks, one thing is certain: this health crisis will force everyone in his orbit to confront what truly matters while there's still time to say goodbye. At Hope's truth bomb, Daphne's redirection, Katie's wisdom. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for the next 2 weeks are here. Fans can expect Hope Logan to drop a bombshell on Carter Walton. Daphne Rose's career takes a new direction. Plus, Katie Logan gives sound advice to Rich Forrester. Keep reading and let's talk about what's coming up in the CBS soap opera, Hope Logan's Truth Bomb. Let's start off with Hope, who told Liam Spencer that they should be together. Carter overheard and obviously came to the wrong conclusion. That is where Daphne will find an opening to Carter's heart. While Daphne might find an opening, Hope could swoop in and reclaim her man. As the week begins, Hope goes to Carter. The COO will probably be pretty upset and tell Hope that he overheard her conversation with Liam. Hope might be forced to tell Carter that Liam is dying. That could lead to harder reuniting, but it could also put Carter in a love triangle. Daphne Rose's redirection. As for Daphne, she will get a career redirection. Right now, Daphne is designing perfumes. Zen Forrester Dominguez, Will Spencer, and Electra Forrester will push Daphne to start a new line. So, this could have Daphne stay on the canvas whether she gets Carter or not. Week of May 19, 2025. Fans will also see Steffy Forrester Finnegan make amends. That sounds like Hope is asked to come back to Forrester Creations. However, Steffy's reasoning makes Rich Forrester suspicious. Taylor Hayes and Brooke Logan have a heated confrontation. Meanwhile, Katie gives some wise advice to Ridge about his romantic situation. Over with Liam, he gets some disappointing news from Grace Buckingham. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Next 2 weeks. During the week of May 26th, Liam's symptoms will likely get worse. Liam already admitted that his dizzy spells are happening a few times a day. So Liam might have to face that his end could come much sooner than he realizes. Luna Nozawa will remain furious with Steffy for blocking her relationship with John Finnegan. While Sheila Carter Sharp promised to do anything for her granddaughter, she could regret making that vow. Not only is Luna slated to go back to her old ways, The Bold and the Beautiful, the growing tension between Rich Forrester and his daughter Steffy Forrester takes center stage as Rich struggles to comprehend her inexplicable softening toward Hope Logan. An olive branch so baffling, it leaves him questioning everything he thought he knew about Steffy's loyalties and convictions. The woman who had once staunchly drawn a line in the sand, kicking Hope out of Forrester Creations with the fury of a long-simmering rivalry, now seems to have done a total 180, and the timing couldn't be more suspicious. Steffy's change of heart isn't just personal, it's professional too. There's whisper of her reviving hope for the future, and Ridge, ever the skeptical patriarch and protector of Forrester's legacy, is left stunned. But what Ridge doesn't yet know is that this sudden thaw isn't born out of strategy, guilt, or ambition. It's born out of quiet tragedy, one that Steffy cannot yet bring herself to say out loud. Liam Spencer, the man both Steffy and Hope have loved, is dying. The terminal brain tumor that once felt like a distant, possibly misdiagnosed anomaly has taken a vicious turn, with Dr. Grace Buckingham revealing during the week of May 19th to 23rd that the tumor is growing faster than expected, leaving Liam with very little time and forcing the women in his life to unite in their shared grief. Steffy, burdened with the secret, confides in Taylor Hayes and Hope, but not Ridge, realizing that in this fragile and fleeting moment, healing the long-standing rift between her and Hope might be the most important thing she can do for her children, for Hope's peace, and for Liam's final wishes. This emotional pivot rocks Ridge, who sees the two women, formerly rivals, now sharing tearful embraces and making promises to stand together as a family. Ridge, ever the emotionally guarded titan of the fashion world, is left grasping for clarity. Why now? Why is Steffy, who once made it her mission to dismantle Hope's professional dreams, suddenly talking about collaboration, forgiveness, and unity? Ridge doesn't yet know the full story, but he's deeply suspicious, especially when Hope arrives at his office with an apology, not just for her past missteps with Carter Walton, which Ridge saw as manipulative and self-serving, but for the general havoc that's been unleashed in the wake of her emotional instability. Hope's relationship with Carter was already a point of contention, especially with Carter's growing connection to the ambitious Daphne Rose. Ridge had viewed Hope's fling with Carter as an emotionally careless rebound, but now as Hope seems to be retracting her claws and embracing a quieter, more humble role, Ridge is unsure whether to believe this shift is genuine or merely opportunistic. The situation becomes more convoluted when Carter overhears Hope telling Liam they should be together, leaving him hurt and confused, just in time for Daphne to potentially swoop in. But Daphne, poised for her own career redirection with support from Zen Forrester Dominguez, Electra Forrester, and even Will Spencer, might be ready to rise with or without Carter. As all this plays out, Ridge finds himself trapped in an emotional vortex, caught between his growing wariness of Hope, his confusion over Steffy's newfound compassion, and his inability to understand how a family so historically divided can suddenly unite in a single week. What Ridge doesn't know is that behind every hug, every act of forgiveness, every invitation to rejoin Forrester Creations, there is a ticking clock, a death sentence that Liam is keeping from most of the world. Liam's health is deteriorating quickly. Dizzy spells are now daily occurrences, and despite putting on a brave face, he's slowly beginning to crumble under the weight of impending death. In moments of lucidity, he reaches out to Steffy and Hope, asking them to keep their daughters close, to raise them together as sisters, not divided by feuds but united in love. It's this plea that motivates Steffy's pivot. She doesn't tell Ridge everything, partly because it's Liam's story to share, and partly because Steffy knows Ridge too well. His reactions, his judgments, his tendency to protect her even at the cost of others. She needs this alliance with Hope to be her decision, one born of compassion and not patriarchal approval. Still, Ridge senses something deeper is at play. When Taylor confronts Brooke in a heated standoff about their daughters and shared past, it's clear the old generational rivalry is being reignited, but this time with new players and higher stakes. Katie Logan, ever the voice of reason, advises Ridge to tread carefully. She sees the emotional landmines ahead and warns Ridge that pushing Steffy for answers or sabotaging Hope's return could backfire, especially if this truce is built on something as serious as impending death. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, Liam begins preparing for the end. He asks Hope and Steffy to consider what kind of legacy they want to leave for their daughters. He speaks of regrets, of how his waffling may have hurt them both, and confesses that he never meant to divide them. In fact, one of his final wishes is for them to live in harmony, not just for the children but for each other. Hope and Steffy, hardened by years of emotional combat, slowly let down their defenses. They weep together, laugh through memories and plan for a future that may not include the man who brought them together. And in this new alliance, Hope finds purpose again. Steffy, recognizing that Hope needs something to hold on to, invites her to revive hope for the future. Not out of pity, but as a lifeline. Ridge, watching from the sidelines, is speechless. This is not the daughter he knows. Not the Steffy who once claimed she would never trust Hope again. This Steffy is reflective, mature, and dare he say loving. And it both warms and confounds him. But Ridge still can't shake the feeling that he's being left in the dark. He begins to question whether Hope has told Carter the truth about Liam's prognosis, and if Carter will wait for her or move forward with Daphne. At the same time, he worries that Steffy is putting too much faith in a reconciliation that may not last beyond Liam's final breath. After all, Steffy is known for emotional whiplash. Today's compassion can be tomorrow's betrayal if Hope so much as glances in Finn's direction. Meanwhile, the emotional ground shifts again when Luna Nozawa, furious at Steffy for blocking her relationship with Finn, lashes out and threatens to sabotage Steffy's truce with Hope. Luna's alliance with Sheila Carter Sharp only adds fuel to a fire Ridge doesn't even know is smoldering. The possibility of Sheila interfering, especially if she learns about Liam's condition, and sees it as an opportunity to drive a wedge between the Forrester women, raises the stakes even higher. With Liam's condition worsening, time becomes both a burden and a motivator. Steffy and Hope try to create meaningful memories for their daughters, orchestrating playdates and family outings that feel both joyous and quietly desperate. Every laugh from Kelly or Beth feels like a countdown. Ridge watches, torn between pride in Steffy's emotional growth and a growing fear that something catastrophic is lurking just beneath the surface. His suspicions intensify when Taylor, always a sharper reader of emotion than he gives her credit for, urges him to just ask Steffy what's going on. But Ridge, burdened by his role as the strong, unshakable patriarch, doesn't know how to reach her without breaking her trust. Instead, he begins asking quiet questions, starting with Brooke, hoping that the mother of Hope might have some insight. Brooke, ever loyal to her daughter, gives Ridge little to work with, but her eyes betray the truth. Something is very wrong, and it's not her place to say what. In the background, Daphne's perfume line gains traction, Carter grapples with emotional whiplash, and Zend and Elektra begin wondering whether they've become pawns in a larger emotional game. Everyone is circling the same storm, but only a few know what's really at the center. Liam dying quietly, using his final days to mend broken relationships and reunite the women he's loved. As the week of May 26th approaches, with Liam's symptoms worsening and the once minor dizzy spells becoming moments of disorientation and collapse, the tension tightens like a bowstring. The scenes ahead promise heartbreak. Final hospital visits, unfinished business, and letters meant to be opened after he's gone. And yet amid this pain, the bold and the beautiful delivers something rare and powerful: grace. Through Steffy and Hope, viewers witness the possibility of healing even the deepest wounds. Through Ridge, we see the anguish of a father trying to understand his daughter's silence. And through Liam, we experience the brutal beauty of a man using his last breaths not to fight, but to bring peace. In the end, Ridge may never fully understand the why behind Steffy's shift, but he will come to respect it. Because in a world where grudges last generations and forgiveness is a foreign language, Steffy has chosen to write a new script, one where unity, compassion, and love prevail, even if only for a season. Whether the truce lasts beyond Liam's life remains to be seen, but for now, it is enough. It is everything.